This second part of our forum features the three candidates running in the Democratic primary for the Sumpter Township Treasurer. They are Kenneth Bednark, Peggy Morgan, and Ronald Barrington Robinson. There are no Republican or Libertarian candidates running for this position. Each candidate is allowed a 1-minute opening statement, a one minute time to respond to questions, and a 1-minute closing statement. Let's begin with Mr. Bednar. Will you please introduce yourself and give your opening statement?
Yes. Thank you to the League of Women Voters for producing this forum and welcoming my attendance. And hello, everyone. I'm Kenneth Bednark, and I'm candidating for the Sumpter Township Treasurer. I'm a 42-year Sumpter resident and retired home builder, real estate investor, and planning consultant. Among my academic accomplishments, I have a master's degree in policy from the University of Michigan and a bachelor's degree in urban planning from Eastern Michigan University, along with a business administration degree. I've been an active member in our community, most recently as Zoning Board of Appeals Commissioner, MMFLA Board Secretary, and as a Parks and Recreation volunteer. I have a vision for our beloved Sumpter and would be honored to become your next treasurer.
Thank you. Ms. Morgan?
Good evening, and thank you to the League of Women Voters for hosting this tonight for us. I just want to say that the treasurer, sitting treasurer right now, after a death on the board, as many of you know, and I was asked to take this position. It is challenging. I am learning. I am working on several things in the office right now. I have changed the locks on the doors. I have installed a camera so that when you folks come in, you will be on camera, and so will our employees. And I have done many other things. I am also the liaison to the water department and have been in the past the liaison to fire and Parks and Recreation. And I enjoy working for each one of you.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson, your opening statement.
Good evening, and thanks to the League of Women's Voters. My name is Ronald Barrington Robinson, and I'm running for Sumpter Township Treasurer. First of all, I am not a politician. I'm a lifelong Democrat. I want Sumpter Township to thrive in the 21st century. But first, we must build the infrastructure. That's businesses. Businesses and businesses. Okay. My experience, I'm a college graduate. I took accounting in college. I graduated from Mount College in Flint, Michigan, in the criminal justice field. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to improve the Treasury, the Sumpter Township Treasury Department. There's a lot of things that need to be done, which I'm working on right now as far as state government is concerned, okay, to make it more...
Finish your sentence.
Thank you.
Okay.
to make it more honest for the people in Sumpter Township and its citizens.
Thank you. A couple of housekeeping things, one for the candidate and one for the audience. Candidates, if you could please hold the mics close up to your mouths so we can all hear you. And for the audience, we're looking for questions from Sumpter Township residents. We have some, but if you have something on your mind that you'd like to ask these candidates, please do so. There were cards out there, and both Angela and Dan have index cards. If you would like to ask questions, they'll collect them and get them up to the podium. Mr. Robinson, if you could pass the microphone down to Mr. Bednar, we're going to ask him the first question. Explain your background and how it has prepared you for this position.
Okay, well, from the age of 19, I established my first business. Worked hard to get through college. First-time college graduate out of my family. And and I worked hard to establish a business that ended up being a multi-million-dollar home building and real estate investing business. I think that with our $12 to $13 million budget that I can be prudent and do the same thing for this township that I had done for my family and my business and many of the workers that I helped make good lives for their families for.
Thank you. Ms. Morgan?
Repeat the question.
Sure. Explain your background and how it has prepared you to fill this position.
Well, I have served on the Sumpter Township Board for 14 years, and let me just say that this is always a learning experience. You learn something every day. It is a not so easy job sometimes. You have to deal with a lot of people and a lot of complaints, and most of them are very simple and pleased when you're done taking care of their complaints. I feel that I have been on this board. I've sat with Johnny Botters, who I believe was one of the best supervisors that we ever had. I also have a great deputy, Janet Hoffman, who works very hard in my office, and she's doing an excellent job. And we just finished an audit, and we should be getting the results of that very soon.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson?
I'm a business owner as well, okay? I have a video recording business for the last 20 years. And I help my staff to do their taxes. I've never had my taxes returned, thank goodness. And I'm willing to learn the job, and I know I can do it to the best of my ability, because there's so many ways that I can learn, contacting the state of Michigan, Treasury's office, and getting help from the professionals, so that I don't come in blindfolded. And I'm willing to work for the Sumpter Township residents in any capacity. I will have an open door policy, okay? Any questions, please come in and ask, and I will answer your questions to the best of my ability. And that's all I can do.
Thank you. Ms. Morgan, we'll start the next question with you.
Okay.
Some townships in western Wayne County have long had a contentious relationship with Wayne County government leaders. How would you work to improve that relationship so that together we can make progress for the residents of Sumpter?
Well, I actually believe that Sumpter Township and the contacts that I've had with Wayne County have been very pleasant, and they seem to work well with us. I know our Commissioner Haddis works very well and very close to us, and I have not had issues with Wayne County, so I don't know about other townships and cities, but our relationship is good.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson? Next one.
First of all, the relationship with Wayne County is iffy at best. I think that, in fact, I was with Mr. Haddis yesterday, and we had some conversations. I won't go into that, but Sumpter Township needs to be more transparent with Wayne County, so that we can get the things from Wayne County that we need here, all right? The roads are horrible. The ditches are horrible, okay? So those are some of the things that I will be working for. I will be working with Wayne County and Warren Evans. And some of the horror stories, I'm going to tell you people, I don't lie, I'm going to tell you the truth, okay? Some of the horror stories that's coming out of Detroit in Wayne County, it's not good for Sumpter Township. People need to be straight up, tell the truth, what we need out here, and maybe we can get some things done.
Thank you very much. Mr. Bednar?
Yes, well, I personally haven't had an opportunity to engage myself with any of the officials in Wayne County, although I do know Commissioner Haddis. I've been seeing a little less than I'd be satisfied with trickle down to Sumpter Township in terms of in relation in respect to what I'm seeing in other communities within the county, more populated, more urbanized communities. And I think that what this township needs is a tactful negotiator that can go in and reason with the people in the county to bring more dollars here for the cleaning of ditches, for the grading of roads, which I'm seeing some being done now. I think we need to ask for more. I think we deserve more as a community. And I'll work hard to be able to bring those dollars, both Wayne County, state, and federal, to help this community at large.
Thank you. If you could pass the mic to Mr. Robinson, we'll have him answer this question first. What experience have you had with budgeting?
Well, the experience that I have is my household. You know, you got a budget in your household first before you can really do anything. I have, like I said, I have a business and I have 3 employees, and running a talk show for the last 20 years. You've got to prioritize. You've got to prioritize and budget, because everything resolves around budget. Equipment, you know, airtime, a lot of variables that are important, that one must understand the dynamics. And I've been doing that for the last 20 years. My shows are seen around the world, okay? Not just in Flint.
Done? Thank you. Mr. Bednar, we'll have you answer that question next.
Sure, I've managed budgets from a very young age, running my own business, founding a business. I've dealt with many complex projects, subcontractors, suppliers, vendors. We've had a variety of different people. In fact, everything from attorneys to engineers to accountants. I've had a lot of experience in business throughout my 30-plus year career budgeting. I think that budgets come rather easy to me. I understand pro formas, financial sheets, spreadsheets. I understand accounting principles, and I think I can bring all of those skills to bear for this community as well. I won't need an accountant or a CPA to show me how to do things or to understand things. I can figure them out for myself.
Thank you. Ms. Morgan?
Yes, there's a budget in the township that is every year, and we all work hand in hand with our financial director to follow that budget, amend that budget when it needs to be. I honestly think that there's nothing wrong right now with our budget and how our financial director takes care of things. He's very up. And right now we're working on getting lower payments out and searching for 3 new banks. We're possibly negotiating with 3 of them anyways to find one that suits us. And I'm working on ATM to get in the township for the residents. There's so much that can still be done. A lot has been done, but there's a lot to be done in the future.
Thank you. Mr. Bednar, you'll answer this next question first, and if I could remind the candidates to look at the audience or our videographer. I love you guys, but the camera wants to look at you, not at you looking at me. Mr. Bednar, please describe how you would improve residents' ability to make tax payments to the township.
Well, one of the first things I'd look at would be to do internet payments, make it convenient for people. Also, I think the important thing would be to inform people via newsletters or on our website for the township, which I think needs a great deal of improvement so that it can be more interactive. Education is probably the first thing that people need to know when it comes to taxes, deadlines, and what they're paying their taxes for. Line item. I believe an internet option would be a good option. I believe having a friendly and accountable staff that greets you with the lights on and that is able and capable of informing you at the service counter as well as through call-ins, not having to rely on one or two key people within an office. So I think that staff training is an important factor in that as well.
Thank you. Ms. Morgan?
Repeat that question, please.
Please describe how you would improve residents' ability to make tax payments to the township.
Well, we do advertise in the newsletter when they're due, when they're coming out. As a matter of fact, there's a newsletter going out any day now to inform them. It's mentioned at board meetings, and I believe that our residents, had we voted for the medical marijuana in our community, I was hoping that someday in the near future that we wouldn't even have millages to have to pay for. And I believe if we look hard again at that subject and figure out how it can be done, and I do believe it can be done, that this township may not have to do millages and stuff if we start getting in businesses and other revenue into our township.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson?
Could you please repeat that question?
Sure. Please describe how you would improve residents' ability to make payments to the township, tax payments to the township.
First of all, I'm going along with Mr. Bednar's and his suggestions in that whole question series, okay? And secondly, I think training and education is everything for that department, as well as any of the other departments in the township, okay? If I am elected treasurer, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to ask the state for a forensic audit in every department to make sure everything is up and the townships and the citizens and the taxpayers are getting a fair shake, okay? That's the first thing I'm going to do. And there's some other things, hopefully, that I'll be able to do as well. Talking to other township clerks, the issues and problems that they've endured or they've been through, that would help out a lot as well.
Thank you. Ms. Morgan, we'll start this next question with you. If money were not an object, what changes or improvements would you make in the treasurer's office?
Well, like I said, I'm working now with the financial director, looking at different banks. Here we bank right now in New Boston, and I believe that there's banks out there that could give us a much better rate, and that's what we're looking forward to doing here real soon. I'm hoping it can be done possibly by the end of August. And I believe that my office runs pretty smooth. I mean, you have to realize we had the death of our treasurer, and then we had the death of our water Saboka Buchanan. And for Anna to step into that seat was not an easy task for her to do so. But she is shining right now and getting the bills on time out and getting them correct. And I'm very proud of that.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson?
Could you repeat that question?
If money were not an object, what changes or improvements would you make in the treasurer's office?
Well, in Sumpter Township, money is the problem. Okay, let me state that. Improvements that I would make, I'll get back to training and education. I would train other folks to step up to the plate if there's a death or a vacancy, and not put the load on new people that know, excuse me, that don't know that don't know the process. That's one of the things that I would do. Training is everything. Education is everything. doesn't apply, that doesn't just apply to the treasurer's office, but in any business. Okay, you got to have somebody that's capable and reliable and trustworthy to do what's necessary to keep your excuse me, your constituents happy.
Thank you. You could pass the mic down to Mr. Bednar. I'm going to repeat it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, I think that's a fantasy question, not based whatsoever in reality. So if my answer sounds a little far out, you know the reason why. First of all, though, I would automate, and I would train, and I would upgrade the computer systems and the filing systems and the processes, and I would bring some experts in to help us modernize and streamline and create efficiencies in our processes. It'd all be wonderful, and obviously we don't have the money to do that, and I think a more realistic question would have been, how can we best work within the means we have? That stated, I would say I would assess and take inventory of what we have, and I would implement whatever we possibly could to do what we can with what we've got to work with.
Thank you. Mr. Robinson, we'll start this next question with you. What would you do about bringing more business to our area?
As a private citizen, I have already been proactive, taking the initiative, talking with the prospective owners of businesses, both large and small, that would be willing to relocate to Sumpter Township. We are located in an ideal spot, 275, 94, and 23. We're ready to hit the road running to accomplish goals that benefit Sumpter Township. And then there's some other things that I would implement as well. Okay, advertising. Come to Sumpter Township. Okay, the rural community. It's a rural community, but we need money here in Sumpter Township to pay the bills. All right, because that dump on Oakville Waltz, it's not going to last forever, and when it goes down, believe me, your taxes are going to go up sky high, maybe thousands of dollars a year, because that dump is already, we've already lost millions of dollars.
Thank you. If the mic could get passed down to Mr. Bednar, we'll have you answer next. Repeat.
Please.
What would you do about bringing more business to our area?
Well, first thing I would do is rid the board of the decision, all of the dissension and all of the division that we have, so that people would see that there is unison in thinking. And I would say that Sumpter, I would let people know that the lights are on in Sumpter, that we are open for business. I would take a look at our soon-to-be updated master plan and utilize the zoning districts that we have in the master plan, in our visioning, to compel business owners to come, to show them that, for instance, in our industrial district, I try to fill our central business district. I would reach out to different business owners and entities that would make a nice eclectic mix in the community. And I would, as a board member, be very open to creative solutions to getting businesses to come to Sumpter.
Thank you. Ms. Morgan?
Oh, well, I would definitely needing a board that is willing to allow growth in our township, having business. There's board members that aren't real friendly to business coming. And when you have the opportunity and you turn it down, it's kind of hard to ask someone else to come down. They're not even going to waste their time coming here. And we need the Sumpter Township to go into the 21st century, and where businesses will want to come. And you have to have an open mind, and you have to be willing to move this township forward to get them here. You can't just stay the same 40 years of the same old, same old. And we have to look to the future. There's our kids and our grandkids.
Thank you. We're going to start our closing statements right now with Mr. Robinson. If you could give your 1-minute closing statement, please.
I would certainly love to be your treasurer in Sumpter Township because and be on that board of trustees to make things happen in a positive way. I've seen and witnessed so much infighting from the present board. It's ridiculous. Okay? It's like their script is out of some third world country, and that's not good for Sumpter Township because this news gets out, not just in our small community, but around the country. Okay, and Sumpter Township can improve itself and be the best of the townships, better than Huron, Belleville, Van Buren. It could be a jewel. It is a jewel, and keep it rural. But we need businesses. Okay, we need businesses. We need more than just some little old five and dime store. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Robinson. Ms. Morgan, your closing statement.
My closing statement, first of all, thank you again for coming. I just want to say that I do speak for the residents of Sumpter Township. When I vote, I don't vote for myself. I vote for what I really believe our residents are wanting. When you get 63% that vote for the medical marijuana, and the board wants to turn the other way and ignore the people of our community. And when we ask for a simple, to have a public opening and let people come in and discuss it with us, the board says, oh, we'll put a committee together. I just don't understand. We don't help our poor. We have programs that have beat down our door trying to come in here for the better of all of our people, all of our residents, and they get turned down, and it's sad.
Thank you very much, Ms. Morgan. Mr. Bednar?
Yes, Sumpter needs a reimaging. And during my grassroots campaign, I personally met with hundreds of residents at their doorsteps and have done a lot of listening. What I find is that we all cherish the laid-back rural character, sense of place, and low-crime environment that Sumpter offers. Yet, what I'm hearing is a call to action. Our community is a major crossroad, and the choices voters make in this election will determine the kind of community we seek to shape over the coming years. Residents desire a passionate leader in the office of treasurer, one that is competent and mature. As your treasurer, I will be working hard to ensure a sound future and financial viability for Sumpter. I will be actively facilitating community participation and promoting board collaboration, along with being a tactful negotiator representing our township's best interests. I pledge to be fiscally responsible, transparent, and manage a friendly, accountable staff. I will be sensitive to our municipal needs and to those of our senior community.
Thank you very much. We'd like to thank the candidates who participated in tonight's forum for the Sumpter Township Treasurer. Because there are no Republican or Libertarian candidates running for the treasurer's position, it is very likely that the winner of the August 7th primary election will also win the November election. At the primary election on August 7th, remember that voters must either choose a Republican, Democratic, or Libertarian ballot, and your choices in the primary are restricted to that party, though in the general election you can cross over. Thank you again. We're going to take a quick break and seat the members seeking, or the candidates seeking the Board of Trustee position. Now we